Good morning, grade 7s. Good to see you again. I want you to go to page 78 and 79 in your textbooks. Find your place first, and then you can unpause the video so I can continue speaking to you. I think I can continue if you're ready. In your textbook, you'll see on page 78 the narrative essay. Now, we've discussed writing a narrative essay before, and we will do so again a few times this year because it will be important even in the end exams this year. But you don't want to focus on something else, and that is activity 8, where they say tell a story. And this has to do with you telling someone a story, physically telling someone a story, and making it interesting while you're doing so. Now, in every examination paper, and the other two terms of the year as well, you need to do a prepared speech usually for marks. So it's important to you to have storytelling skills. Now, in oral work, the most important thing to remember is that, as you'll see on page 79, activity 8, the important thing is that you need to remember you are speaking to an audience, like right now. You are my audience. There's no point in me talking about stuff that doesn't concern you and you're not interested in, and it's not important to your syllabus. My audience is important to me, and so should yours be when you start doing your prepared speech, especially when you tell a story. You need to make the story interesting to your audience. That means you should know your audience. I can tell the exact same story to a grade 1 child, and I can tell that same story to a grade 12 child. But I will do it in completely different ways because my audience is different. The person listening to me is of a different age, has different concerns, and will be interested in different areas and facets of that story. So you need to take a note of that as well. When you prepare for your oral work, any kind of speech, whether it's a factual one or a story, you need to keep in mind that your audience need to be interested in what you have to say. In other words, if I try to teach you something and I bore you to death, then I'm not keeping you interested. You are bored. I'm bored. We're all bored. No one's going to learn anything. The same with you. When you know your audience, you know how to keep them occupied, how to keep them interested. It's your responsibility to make sure that your story keeps them interested all the time. You can use different voices. You can use actions. Now, I know that in grade 7 class specifically, there are a couple of you are really great actors. I've seen you in action before, so you'll know who I refer to. And you know how to do a speech and tell a story and also act it out a little bit while you're telling the story. We don't all have the talent for that, but when you do, please use it. If you don't, practice makes perfect. Remember that. There are a couple of things that you need to remember. When you look on page 79, activity 8, I keep referring you back to activity 8 because it's important. They say, what is the mood of the story? Now, this is important. If my story is a ghostly story, it is a story where I tell you about something strange that happened. It's spooky. Then I'm going to adjust my tone of voice and my demeanor, in other words, the way I tell it to you, in such a way that it suits my topic. If I sound too happy, who will believe my ghost story? You need to sound spooky when you tell a ghostly story. Right. When I tell a very serious story, there's a different mood as well. You are the speaker. You need to create that mood by your actions and your choice of words. And your tone of voice, of course. You need to speak up. You need to know when to speak faster, when to speak slower, when to go a little bit softer, and when to go louder to keep your audience occupied. An important thing they say there is that you need to end off your story with a powerful ending. Grade 7s. There's nothing as disappointing as a fantastic story with an absolutely boring ending. Please don't do that to your audience. There's nothing more disappointing than a wonderful story with a disappointing ending. Make sure your ending is an absolute high point in the story. It's a climax. It's fantastic. People will talk to you about it afterwards and say, oh, did this really happen? You need to make that possible for your audience to be excited when you're done talking to them. Now I'm going to stop talking now. You know exactly what to do now. When you look at activity 8, they say, take turns to tell each other the stories you wrote in activity 7. Now, you haven't written any stories yet today, but I want you to make up a good story. Look around you. You can take an object. It could be something like a dog walking past your house. Make up a story about that. Now, remember, a good story, it doesn't matter what they say to you these days in all these modern movies they make where no one knows what's going on. A good story still needs a good beginning, a few things, important things that happen in between, and a wonderful ending. Those 3 things: beginning, middle, and an end. Make sure your story has all of them. Good luck, enjoy choosing your story, and please tell it to someone in your family. Make sure they enjoy it. Goodbye.